Welcome back to Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Tampa Spartans and the Eckerd Tritons. It is actually the third and final game of a three-game weekend series, but a doubleheader this afternoon. Hi, everybody. Jack Ike along with Taylor Stolworthy. And the Spartans have been pretty dominant through first two games of this series. 27-1 yesterday, 16-6 in the first game today. And as we mentioned in the first game, a win here will wrap up at least a co-championship in the Sunshine State Conference.
Yeah, Rollins would have to win out. Tampa would have to lose out for a chance for the Spartans to be co-champions instead of solo champions. And Nova Southeastern would need to win and then win out against Florida. Well, win against Florida Southern for Game 2 and then win out the rest of the way to also potentially be in the run for co-champions. But at this stage, it looks pretty much confirmed that Tampa will be conference champions as long as Stipp could make it 8 wins today on the mound. And by the way, actually I was wrong. Florida Southern would have to beat the Sharks in Game 3 of their weekend series to have a chance to stay alive. Florida Southern is 15-8 in conference play. Nova Southeastern just picked up their 9th conference loss to knock them out of title contention.
All right, Jake Stipp on the mound for the Tampa Spartans.
A good season for Stipp. He had a complete game shutout earlier. That was one of his 7 wins and a .390 ERA. Left-hander, very efficient player for Tampa.
And his battery mate will be Irigoyen as they do flip-flop between Garavito and Irigoyen behind the plate. First pitch is a strike. The leadoff hitter is Garrido. Second pitch is a ball, so Garrido comes in. Luis Garrido is a junior from Palmetto, Florida. Swing and a miss off speed. Stipp, the lefty, doesn't like to waste a lot of time. Winds and fires. Just missing. Spartans defensively. Stipp on the mound. Irigoyen behind the plate. J.D. Urso is at first base. Braden Woodburn is at second. Carstetter is at third. Foul ball. Nico Saladino is at shortstop. Lenny Ashby in left field. Jake Griffith is in center. And Mike Valdez is in right. So a few changes to the lineup. A couple players moved around. A couple new players in the lineup. It goes after one way outside. Strike 3 call.
Yeah, both teams making a few changes. Notably, of course, Tampa giving Valdez, I think, one of his first appearances this weekend, which will be fun to see. But it's just kind of the depth of the Spartans. You know,
Yep.
Sometimes you got to put people on the bench. And Valdez, we know how good of a player he is. But, you know, there's a ton of great outfielders. Villegas, Williams. How do you shuffle around the outfield sometimes?
Alzade to the plate. First game, Carstetter DH. Now he's the third baseman. J.D. Urso was the third baseman. Now moves to first base. Up the middle, the same. Saladino, Woodburn. Jake Griffith getting a start. Lenny Ashby, who oftentimes would be the right fielder, is in left as Jordan Williams will sit. Give him a break. It is hot out there. It was 89 game time in the first game. There's a fly ball. Speaking of Lenny Ashby, and he makes a nice running catch. 2 down. Lenny, one of 23 players introduced about 45 minutes ago on Senior Day. Lenny from Aruba. Brings Stark to the plate. Zaid Stark is a junior from Lake Worth, Florida. Actually started his career at Southwestern Community College in Iowa. Lefty to lefty. Fouls it off.
Once you get to 2 strikes, you got to expect Carstetter to move closer to the shortstop position by second base. Tampa very aggressive with their shifts on defense.
Ground ball right to Carstetter. Takes a nice hop. Guns it across to Urso. And it's a 3-up, 3-down first. We've played half an inning. No score. Tampa will be sending up Urso, Saladino, Woodburn to start the bottom of the first. Right here on TampaSpartans.tv. Bottom of the first we go. No score for Eckerd in the top of the first. Thomas on the mound for Eckerd. And he is Jacob Thomas, a lefty from Clearwater, Florida. Went to Washburn Academy.
Thomas has been the most effective starter. 5 starts, a 4.96 ERA, a team high 45 and a third innings. Could argue that Eckerd is rolling with their ace for Game 3 of the weekend series. By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Tampa men's lacrosse. They have confirmed the Sunshine State Conference Championship.
Okay.
Their win against Rollins earlier today was for the title. So as they look to run it back as national champions, they'll add a trophy to the trophy case.
And that was played just across the street from here, right?
That was in the Mole Family Stadium. And I'm sure we'll be hosting 1 or 2 tournament games too before the regular season wraps up somewhere else. And unlike baseball, lacrosse and other national championships go around the nation different years, different host venues. Baseball always ends up in Cary, but sometimes it'll just be different places in the nation. Championship here on campus a couple years back.
And the Spartans played in it and won.
They did,
right?
They won. They entered the tournament as the 2 seed in the South region, then 1 seed for the Elite 8, swept their way to the title.
J.D. Urso to lead off. I don't think I've ever known J.D. to lead off a game. He's always been a good number 3 hitter for Tampa. First pitch from Thomas. Strike call. A long look. And the pitch from the Clearwater lefty. Down the line, foul.
Ooh, that one fell behind the net into the bullpen, I think.
Okay.
As it didn't land in front of the wall, it went behind it.
Umpires for this game are Frank Endel behind the plate, and Ray Parrish is on the bases. They flip-flop from earlier. I wonder if on a day like this, or maybe any day, would you rather be the home plate umpire first, get it done with, get the gear off?
Potentially. Depends how hot it is right now. Still got to assume it's pretty warm, even though we're getting to the evening hours of the day.
That's one hit out into left field, coming in, gets away. Urso's going to take 2 at least. He's going to round. I think he's going to keep going. There he is. He's heading for third. They're going to not get him, and he's going to stand up with a triple. That was just got away, and that was a question of, do you try to make the catch or do you play it in front of you? He went for the catch, and it got away. So Urso with a leadoff triple.
Funny, you see Coach Urso talking with his son JD over at third base. The umpire was there too. I think they were having a little funny conversation about something. They were kind of laughing a little bit after the play.
Why didn't you send him?
That was the question, I think. I think JD wanted to try to get home. I think he would have been out though, so right idea to stay.
Yes.
Don't get too many chances to try to go for an inside the parker though. It takes a play like that to do so.
One game I missed this year. Didn't you almost have an inside the park grand slam, but they called it an error at the
they
plate
called
or
it
something?
Triple for Carsetter, I think. Not a grand slam, but cleared the bases with the bases loaded and made it home on the play. And it was when the right fielder dove and missed the ball down the right field line.
Okay, that's asking for trouble.
Yes.
And he pulled the ball, JD pulled the ball a little more. Might have been an inside the parker just because of the distance. Center field might have had to cover to get that one as a backup.
Yeah, it was closer for the center fielder there, which is why he did get to it.
And a walk, so a triple and a walk. So Thomas immediately puts himself in a predicament.
Thomas with a 4.96 ERA, 26 walks in 45 innings, has the best walk rate of any of the Eckerd starters. Definitely want to avoid those troubles against Tampa because that's how they make you pay, and that's how exactly they've succeeded this weekend.
This is Braden Woodburn. Cleanup in the first game today, first 2 games, now batting third. Irigoyen will be cleanup, followed by Valdez. Ashby is 6th. Carstetter 7. Joe Stella, the DH, is 8th. And Jake Griffith batting 9th. Playing him fairly straight away, but again, fairly shallow in left. And he goes down the line, right field line. That'll bring a run in, 1-0 Tampa. Going from first to third is Saladino, and he slides in safely. Runners at the corners.
I'm really glad to see Stella getting the start today. You know, he's been very good off the bench for Tampa, and it's a chance for his 5th outing of the season. This is his first home start of the season.
Okay.
I think he's only had a couple of road appearances where he's been in the lineup while as a starter. But off the bench, he's done so well. Why not give him a chance on senior day?
Yeah. Joander Irigoyen now to the plate. Behind the plate on defense, at the plate right now for the Spartans with a 1-0 lead already. Base hit into right field. That'll plate another one. 2-0 Tampa. And another runner goes first to third. So we are off and running here. A triple, a walk, a single, and another single.
Reminds me of that top of the second against Schuyler in the previous game where Eckerd just had 3 hits in a row down the middle, the same exact spot to bring home a run. Tampa's now done so twice in a row down the right field line to plate 2.
Valdez at the plate. So Tampa is rudely greeting Thomas. And Valdez gets a strike call. Lenny Ashby on deck. Look good, doesn't get the call though, just a little bit low. We bring this up every game when we play on the weekends, and this game you can see the shadow working its way toward home plate, and it'll potentially wreak havoc later in the game.
Yeah, it can cause some fielding issues. The sun really shines right into players' eyes.
Up the middle, off the mid of the second baseman. That's Jones. A run scores. 3-0 Tampa. That'll be a hit.
The deflection stopped Irigoyen from getting to third,
Yes.
but would have been even better, I think, for Thomas if he made the catch. I don't think Thomas can be too disappointed, though, because Jones did, I think, everything he could on that diving play, you know. Got to appreciate your teammate laying your body out on the line on a play like that. Even if it doesn't get the out, you know, it shows you still got fight after what you could say is a demoralizing weekend so far for the Tritons. Might take another good inning at the plate, I think, to kind of fuel the offense again.
So a triple, a walk, and now 3 singles. Tampa up 3-0. 4 hits already. Runners at first and second, and still nobody out. And a ground ball, another base hit. Do they send him? No, the bases are going to be loaded. 4 consecutive hits now. 5 this inning total.
I like the call by Urso here, you know. Irigoyen might have made it safe, but
No
you've had
outs.
5 straight hits with no outs.
Yeah.
Well, 1 hit, walk, and then 4 straight hits afterwards.
Yes.
Why risk giving the Tritons their first out of the game for an extra run where you now got the bases loaded, no one out for what is the 7th time, I think, this weekend?
And a quick mound visit. Josh Beauregard, the 9th-year head coach at Eckerd, wondering what he can do to stop this juggernaut called UT baseball.
And while it definitely doesn't look like a good start so far for Thomas, what you have to say is that he's not walking people.
Yes.
He gave up the walk against Saladino, but he's been aggressive since. The balls are eventually going to fall his way. He's eventually going to get a line drive to an outfielder or get a sharp grounder to short that it can turn into 2 or something.
Yeah, right now they're just hitting him where they ain't.
Exactly. So I don't think Thomas should change his approach at all. If he gets scared, if he starts pitching around the Spartans, it's just going to get worse. He just has to fire, and eventually someone's going to hit it right to a fielder. It's going to happen eventually. Tampa just might keep getting lucky, but if you look at what happened in the previous games, when you're walking in runs, when you're loading the bases with walks, it's a much worse situation than, hey, they're just finding the holes, they're forcing crazy deflections to get base runners. Make the Spartans earn it, and he's doing that so far.
Yes.
Unfortunately for him, the Spartans are earning them.
1 ball, no strikes. Fouled back. Case in point, Taylor, is 16 walks on Friday, 12 walks earlier today. That's 28 walks over the weekend. And the Spartans scored 43 runs in those 2 games. So don't put them on. Make them earn it.
Yeah, and 16 walks is the second all-time in the game for the Spartans.
Fouled back.
It was Arkansas Tech last year that conceded the most against Tampa all-time at Daikin Park, 19 in 1 game. Part of the opening weekend where Tampa began a 15-game winning streak.
Were those the games in Houston?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's also cool because I think we had very good analytics there.
What park were they in?
I
thought it was Minute Maid. Yeah.
But recently they got a new sponsor.
Oh, one of those things.
Yes. So they've renamed it, and they actually have a new sign up in right field for the brand. Instead of the Minute Maid sign, you now have a Daikin sign out there.
That's like when Miller Park in Milwaukee, which is what everyone knew it as, is now AmFam Field, because American Family Insurance bought the rights. There's the first out as Carstetter goes down swinging. See, like things like that, I would say when the Spartans played at Minute Maid Park, because that's what it was called then. I do my sports trivia things, and I try to be PC on things with Marquette basketball,
right?
Because I do a Wisconsin trivia thing, and a lot of their great records were set when Al McGuire was coach, and they were the Marquette Warriors. They are now the Golden Eagles, and I'm like, I usually try to write around it and just say Marquette played.
For the most part, kind of like the Guardians.
Yes.
For MLB as well. Or the Commanders in the NFL.
Yes, exactly. But, it's like, but they did it. This was their name. But I don't want people getting mad. So I just
I think a good idea to play it safe. Just kind of mention the team location. That's why it's good to have teams, because you can always just say the location.
Yes. Marquette won the game. There's another base hit. That'll bring in another 2. That one may go all the way to the wall. It is. Stella is going to head to second, and they're going to try to clear the bases. 3 runs will score as Ashby touches the plate, and the Spartans have put up a 6 spot in the first.
I think you could call that a stellar play by Stella.
Yes.
Could have had his first triple of the year, but he holds up at second.
That one just kept going. It cut between center and right. Thought they would have a chance to cut it off, but it still had the speed and picked up. And the number 9 hitter in the order, Jake Griffith, now to the plate. He was introduced about an hour ago on Senior Day. Stella with a leadoff. They're trying to hold him on. They back off. The first pitch to Griffith is a ball.
Actually, it was a late strike call from Endel.
It was.
Just clipped the outside corner, I think.
Oh, 1 pitch. Ground ball, foul. 0-2 now. And this kind of reinforces what you've said a number of times over the weekend and during the season, that no matter who the Spartans put out, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, we're a team that you could really say is 15 players deep on offense, and I don't think there's anyone bad that we have in our bullpen either.
Right.
You look at Ethan Brown as the highest ERA in the team, but his outing this weekend, he came in, gave up 1 walk, and then struck out the side, basically.
Yeah.
I actually think he did have a ground out, but, he can come in, get you a ton of strikeouts. Braden Heidel, he just had his 3rd appearance of the season. He's got electric stuff. And Eli Thurman's one of our more reliable guys, even though he's just been a bit unlucky with the base hits this year.
Popped up, playable. Going back is short, coming in is left. All of a sudden, left fielder Gelwick realized he had to make the play, and he makes it for the second out. Pizio, the shortstop, was ranging and then I think realized he wasn't going to get there. Not only that, as we talked about the sun, when he looked up, he probably looked right up into the sun, whereas Gelwick could come in at a little different angle.
Yeah, it's the shadows above our big building here at the baseball field that kind of creep onto the field.
Now it's covered all of home plate as it's working its way out. And what you're going to see, what you can see, I believe, is shadows on home plate, but then where the Spartan logo is behind the plate, that's back in the sun, but eventually another shadow of the grandstands will take over as well.
Yeah, this top thing is the canopy that's above home plate.
Yes.
Then we got the booth and the grandstands.
So shadow, sun, shadow as the sun works its way down. And this time of year, it's working its way straight west.
And it's that little sort of sliver in the middle of the canopy and the grandstand where the sun will kind of shine the brightest.
Mm-hmm. And we always bring this up too. What you'll notice at one point, at a couple points, is when the catcher throws it back to the pitcher, they don't realize it, but they blind them and they duck out of the way. And we've had cases where runners have tried to advance when the ball bounces away from the pitcher. Urso batting for his second time today in this inning.
And Spartan legend Alex Caney, who's probably going to celebrate a senior day soon at Ole Miss, had a couple of times where it was against Barry that a ground ball was hit towards him with the sun like that, and he wasn't able to field it.
Strike call, 3-2 now. Second at bat this inning for J.D. Urso, coming to bat now with 2 outs. Tripled his first at bat to start the game. Ground ball to third on a hop, throw over. Got him for the third out?
No,
they call him safe? Okay, they did. That one took a tough hop, and then the throw had to scoop it out of the dirt. Gave J.D. time to get there, so now runners at first and third with 2 out, and Saladino to the plate.
Great hustle by J.D. there, not giving up on the play, because it was not a great throw from the left side. It took a couple bounces and was pretty slow. It also gave a chance for Stella, because, might as well try to make it to third. Worst case scenario, you're just walking back to the dugout, and you're already halfway there.
Saladino now to the plate. He walked and scored. That one gets away. Stella could have scored twice.
Yeah, Stella just stayed there. He was wondering if it was going to take a big bounce.
Yeah.
It really didn't. JD was going to be safe at second no matter what, so he gets going.
Once Stella hesitated, and I can understand that because you don't know where. It was way outside, but we've seen balls hit the back and bounce right back to home plate.
I think with the pad that's kind of slowed down.
They put the pad up a few years ago.
I know EJ was talking to me about that yesterday, where sometimes it would go right back, and that helped them out for an out one
I saw that once. It bounced right back to home plate, and they just picked it up and tagged the runner.
Exactly.
Yeah, now it's padded, so it dulls it, dies right there. Ball high, 3-0, so Thomas will have to come in. Runners at second and third. Woodburn on deck.
Think of your Saladino, just keep the bat on your shoulder until 2 strikes.
Yes.
Let him walk the bases loaded if he has to.
There's a strike. Thomas quick to get into the stretch and fire. Fouled off. He did get it to 3-2.
I think it was going 2-seam inside there, and that's a really good offering because Saladino sees it off there, and he's thinking, ooh, that's a fastball, but drifts in, chokes him up.
So it'll be a full count pitch. Here it comes. Oh, that hit him. Did it hit him? It was really close to the shoulder face. Umpire talking to him. I think they're just going to give him a walk. It didn't bounce away at any odd angle or anything, so I don't know if that'll be a hit by pitch or just ball 4.
I think it's a hit by pitch because the runners probably would have tried to advance if it was wild since it got away from the catcher.
I'm hoping it just hit his shoulder. I think that he might be reacting more had it come up to his chin.
Yeah, I think he'd be favoring his head a little bit.
Yeah, they are saying hit by pitch. So dead ball as soon as that happens. Bases loaded now, and Woodburn at the plate for his second appearance, the 12th hitter of the inning. He had a base hit with an RBI and scored earlier this inning. Already 6-0 in the first. First pitch, strike call. So Stella on third, Urso on second, Saladino on first. The 0-1 pitch from Thomas. Ground ball right back to Thomas. He's going to get the out. There it is. Spartans send 12 to the plate in the first. 6 runs, 7 hits. They leave 3. We played 1. Tampa 6. Eckerd nothing on TampaSpartans.tv. Top of the second inning we go. Tampa up 6-0. A 6 spot in the first. Sent 12 batters to the plate. Jones, Galwick, and Shoemaker. 4, 5, and 6 to face Jake Stipp.
Gotta feel good if you're Jake Stipp because, you got a lot of run support on the mound. I mean, every Tampa starter has, but he now has 6 after the first frame. Even Skylar had to wait to get that many after the second inning.
Around the league in the first games today, Palm Beach Atlantic an 8-3 winner over Embry-Riddle. St. Leo 13-8 over Lynn. Barry 8-2 over Florida Tech. And Florida Southern beat Nova Southeastern 7-6, the final in that one. Rollins is at Colorado Mesa. That's a 1 o'clock game out in Colorado.
Yeah, 2 top teams going at it for that one. Colorado Mesa currently 14th in the nation in the D2 Twitter baseball poll. And Rollins is 21st in that poll in their rankings. We are 2nd in their rankings, right behind Angelo State. So I wonder if this big weekend might help us out a little bit.
Yeah. Usually if you're not ranked number 1, it's yours until you lose.
Right. That's, I'm pretty sure, how Angelo State took the lead when we
Spartans
had 1 or 2
two
losses.
2 at Florida Southern. Ball hit foul. 2-2 still. Two ground ball. That hit the bag. It'll be a fair ball. Going down into the left field corner. Heading to second will be Jones, and he'll cruise in with a stand-up double.
Yeah, it's just a perfectly hit baseball. Tampa had some BABIP luck in the first inning with all their hits. Now some goes the Triton's way in that play right there.
Gelwick now to the plate, the left fielder. Out of everything the Spartans have done this weekend, no home runs. There's only been 1 home run hit this weekend, and it was by Marino, the catcher in this game, but came in as a pinch hitter in the last game. And Gelwick takes a strike. And that is a ball, 1-1. Tap foul, back to the screen. One-two pitch. Down the line, foul.
In the first game of the day today, Eckerd did record 12 hits. They know how to get the base runners, and even in the 27-1 loss yesterday, you'd expect that they were quiet at the plate. They weren't doing anything. No, they had plenty of opportunities. C.J. Williams barely escaped with a shutout, I'd say, because he had multiple walks and multiple hits.
There's a blooped out into center field, but not that far back. An easy catch for Jake Griffith.
For the Tritons, their main difficulty has been bringing people home once they reach scoring position.
Well, you said they had 10 hits yesterday, right?
Yes.
But only one run.
Mm-hmm. Pair that, Tampa had 20 runs on 10 hits at one stage.
Yeah.
But the walk differential was pretty noticeable.
16-2, I think it was.
That was for game one. And in game two, I think. Game one yesterday, Tampa had 16. I think Eckerd had like 3 or 4.
3 or 4, okay.
They all, I believe, came from Williams, though.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one from Ethan Brown as well.
Yeah, I think it was 12-2 earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Big disparity either way, both games.
Yeah, Tampa doing a good job to limit kind of free base runners. And even though Gonzalez did give up 10 hits, he didn't give up any walks.
Nice pitch. Gets the strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball. It's going to be Saladino. Nice throw in time. Throw to third, sliding in safely and making it. So we had the runner out at first on a good throw by Saladino, and then Urso jumps off the bag, throws to third to try to get Jones, but he got in just ahead of the tag. So 2 outs now, runner on third. Jones doubled to start the inning. But he had to wait to make sure where Saladino was going to go with the throw.
I think it was a smart double clutch there by Urso. He could have had him out earlier if he threw it, but alternatively, that gets away from Karstetter. You give up a run, and you're up by 6, but again, you don't want to treat the game like it's over. We saw the Tritons score 6 previously.
Swing and a miss.
And I think you definitely trust Stipp to try to get out of this jam.
Ground ball heading out to second. Fielded by Woodburn. Inning is over. We've played an inning and a half. Tampa still on top, 6-0. We'll be right back on TampaSpartans.tv.
I think so. Triple and throwing error.
Bottom of the second we go. Spartans will send up Irigoyen, Valdez, Ashby for their second plate appearance of the game. 6-0 Tampa on top. Thomas got roughed up a little bit there, gave up 6 runs, 6 hits, threw 42 pitches in the first inning.
Good to see him back out there for the second, trying to battle through it. They do have a more active bullpen in this game, and obviously, no reason to save people now since it's the final one of this series.
Right. Yep.
Your hope, of course, is that get a bit of a rebound inning from Thomas. In the first game, we saw Gargett really battle. He had 92 pitches, getting through 4 innings. Tampa put up 10 runs against him, but where he entered the 5th, he just couldn't get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, it really was a strong performance to just deal with the adversity and kind of keep pushing and keep fighting. And he shut out the Spartans in the 1st and 4th innings.
They do have action in the Eckerd bullpen. First pitch to Thomas, and I thought that hit Irigoyen on the knee. It did not. That one gets away, nobody on, so no harm, no foul there. Home plate umpire Endel, a lefty, throwing that ball back. (2-0), popped up, playable. Shortstop, third base call, makes the catch. That's Bazidlo. And again, that's a case of shortstop coming in, looking straight up into the sun. Bazidlo coming in from a little different angle. A little better catch. A little easier catch.
Interesting names at the third and shortstop positions, Bazidlo and Pizzio.
Pizzio, yeah.
Always kind of fun to see unique names across the board, and those are 2 definitely unique ones for the defense. With EJ yesterday, kind of made a mention, as that was a pretty close strike call at the corner. Pizzio kind of feels like he's a bootleg version of Kevin Biggio's name. Because, he plays the middle infield position, kind of at that shortstop, second base role. And, first letter C, and then the last name, kind of similar structure.
All right.
He's also named Colton, which isn't too crazily different than Kevin.
I thought it was Craig Biggio.
I was thinking the other Biggio.
Oh, okay.
Because I know there's multiple.
Yes. I'm in the Wayback Machine on Craig, though.
Yeah. Kevin's the 30-year-old guy currently with the Royals.
Is his dad Craig Biggio?
I'd assume so.
But if he's 30, boy, I don't know if Craig's that old.
I mean, he's 59, so it actually would
be. Yeah. What's it say?
Double checking Wikipedia. It would be a crazy coincidence if not.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
His son is Kevin.
Oh, okay. Ball high. And it will be ball 4. So Irigoyen popped out, and now a free pass to Valdez brings up Lenny Ashby. Already 6 of 9 players have base hits for Tampa in this game. And J.D. Urso 2 for 2.
Urso is definitely showing up here on Senior Day.
Ball a little bit low, bounces away, not far enough for anything. Spartans right now are hitting .636 in this game. 7 of 11. A little bit low.
And they're 7 for 10 for balls in play as well, hitting at a 700 BABIP.
Popped up, out of play. Might have bounced that one off the dorm. He kept looking at it. Two and one out, and a man on first. Here's the pitch from Thomas. Just missing outside. 3-1. Thomas has already walked 2 today. Goes to first.
Don't know if Valdez will be running. They're guessing that he might. He's had 1 stolen base this year. Tampa's a team, I believe, have now just reached 130. Don't know if all the batting numbers have updated.
Ball 4. So back-to-back walks after a pop-out. And it's nice to see Jose Jimenez's son back doing clerical duties with the bats. Did not see him at the first game.
Might be a little hot for the first game.
Yeah.
I think it might have cooled down a little bit to make it easier.
I might have taken a nap during that game too, huh?
That too. Well, when you see the
He's
Spartans
speedy.
put up a ton of runs early on, I think you can afford to take a little nap sometimes.
Yeah, he's like, Dad, I'm glad I didn't do last night's game. I'd have been worn out. Ball inside. Karstetter.
That's what EJ and I were speculating. We were like, I think Jack doesn't mind missing that one. We see enough Spartans offense as it is.
Yep.
If we were not as strong of a team and we had a game like that, it'd be like, oh man, I missed a piece of history. No, we remember the Spring Hill tournament game quite well. The 38-run one.
I was doing important stuff like telling the people of Pasco County that a new traffic light was going to be activated on Monday.
There we go.
So be ready for that yellow flashing light.
Yes. And the red ones.
Not until, red one way, yellow the other way. A week from now, just so you know, it'll be fully functional.
Mm-hmm.
So be ready. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 on. Ground ball, knocked down by the third baseman, and I think he's safe. Yeah, bases loaded. A good job by Bizidlo to knock it down, but it rolled into foul territory, and by the time he retrieved it, he didn't get the man at third, but if he doesn't knock that down, a run scores.
Yeah, and by the time he was picking up in foul territory, he was not on the base to kind of tag it and get the force out.
And a mound trip coming up. There is and has been somebody warming up. They may make the move here, though this is the first visit this inning.
And they are making the
make
change.
The move. Okay.
I will say you got 2 lefties kind of due up soon. You got Griffith and Saladino eventually. Interesting to pull the lefty here, but it is high leverage with the bases loaded. Maybe you want the righty.
And it looks like, could you see the number? I thought it looked like 17.
Maybe. I can't confirm.
Okay. We'll take a break, and we'll come back and give you the new player and set the situation again right here on TampaSpartans.tv. Relief pitcher coming in is going to be number 12, Cooper Nelson, a righty, a sophomore from East Lake, Florida, so not too far from here, replacing a pitcher from Clearwater. And so they might have been neighbors.
I think they're hoping that this Nelson can be as strong as the Tampa legend Braden Nelson.
Braden Nelson, yeah.
Bases loaded spot for not Stella.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the spot back in the first inning, cleared the bases.
Yeah, double, 3 RBI. Here we go. Again, the bases are loaded. So this is his second time up with the bases filled.
Nelson enters with an 8.05 ERA, above the team average, and 23 strikeouts and 25 walks over 19 innings.
Nice curve ball, gets the strike. One thing the umpire does, Endel, when he calls a strike, he makes the move in front of him as opposed to off to the side. And I have to figure out, is he signaling strike or not?
Mm-hmm.
Swing and a miss. He knows what he's calling. And now he put it out there. That's a little more helpful. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Spartans up 6-0, looking to add on with 1 out here in the second. Ball outside, 2-2.
I think it's a good idea to bring a player like Nelson here with the bases loaded because he doesn't have the greatest command, but he's not going to give up too many hits. 254 average against, which is pretty high above the team average. You'd rather strike out or walk here than multiple run scoring.
And he got the strikeout. Stella goes down for the second out. This will bring the 9 batter, Jake Griffith, to the plate. He flew out to left field his first time up. See if he can come up with a clutch base hit here to bring a couple in. All 3 runners, good lead, ball outside. Nice block, ball low. Marino.
The freshman getting the start today for game 3 after his home run earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This is his first career start for the Tritons.
Really? He'll get an at-bat next inning. Top of the third. Strike call. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball in the dirt and not far enough away, and hustling back is Valdez.
And this is the pressure cooker kind of offering here. You got 3-1 count. Do you challenge him? Do you go away? Scary situation.
Well, you got to challenge him. The bases are full, I would think. You don't want to walk the base or walk a run in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, scary thing is you concede multiple, but also in this situation, you're already trailing by a lot. How different is a 6-0 to a 7-8 or 9-0 scoreline?
Right. And here it is, 3-1. Walked him. Brings in a run. So we've had a walk, a single, pitching change, a strikeout, and a walk. So 3 walks and a base hit have produced a run for Tampa. And J.D. Urso, we're only in the second, batting for his 3rd time today.
Yeah, 2 at-bats in the first inning and had 2 hits. Double and home run away from the cycle.
This is the 19th batter of the game for Tampa.
Yeah, they're even more active than they were in yesterday's game.
Now a 7-0 lead. Strike call. One and one with 2 outs, bases full. Looks at a curveball, stays high outside. 2-1. And the pitch. Outside, good stop by Marino. Well, we said this a few seconds ago on a 3-1 pitch. You got to challenge them or another run will come in.
Got to trust in the defense and help them get you out of this jam.
Fouled it off. We'll go full.
Yeah, that was a good pitch for Urso to swing at. Now is going to be in the heart of the zone. But now does he swing full count or... I mean, obviously probably looking to protect. Doesn't want to go down looking.
So here we go. 3-2 pitch. 2 out. Runners go. Inside, and that almost took him. It took him down, but didn't hit him. And that'll bring in another run. 3 walks this inning. And another run in.
I think that type of pitch gives me a chance to kind of reiterate something mentioned yesterday. A rule I'd love to see across American baseball, one that is present in the Pacific League, where I cover games with FTF Sports from NPB in Japan, Japanese baseball, is the dangerous pitch rule. If a batter gets hit in the head, it's an automatic ejection for the pitcher. Just a player safety thing and to incentivize, not hitting players in the head, even if it's not intentional.
I think they're trying to take control so the opposition doesn't think they have to send a message.
Exactly.
This brings Saladino to the plate, and it's now an 8-0 game. Spartans 8 runs, 8 hits. It's actually 4 walks this inning, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2 from Thomas, 2 from Nelson.
4 walks and 1 base hit. 2 runs have come in on the bases loaded walks. Ball high, and we are 1-2.
Notably, both walks from Nelson brought in 2 runs with the bases loaded.
And the bases are still loaded. That's a fly ball. Is it bloop enough? It's coming down, and a long running catch. Did he make the catch? He did. In center field, Alzate. We had to wait, and he came up showing the mitt with the ball in it, and that will end the inning. Tampa did pick up a couple more runs, and we played 2 full. It is 8-0 Tampa, leading Eckerd on TampaSpartans.tv. We move to the top of the third. Tampa now on top 8-0 in this game. Jake Stipp cruising along. 2 innings pitched, giving up 1 hit. Struck out 1. That 1 hit was a double. He'll face the 8-9 hitters. That'll be Marino, Pizio, and Garrido. Marino, as we mentioned, came in as a pinch hitter and homered. You said this is his first start of the season?
First start of his career, I believe, as a freshman. And keep in mind as well, or actually it's a sophomore, but he didn't play last season.
Okay.
So I had his first home run, his first career start.
And he faces Jake Stipp for the first time, ball high.
And kind of important to note that even though Tampa scored 51 runs this weekend, we haven't used the long ball at all.
Yeah.
It's been triples, doubles, singles, and I'd say probably about 10 walks that bring home a run, too.
Well, we saw 2 last inning.
Meanwhile, for the season, Eckerd scored 220 as a team. So Tampa's kind of had a quarter of that output in just 1 weekend.
Wow. Ball high. 3-0.
Entering this weekend, Tampa had a total of 362 runs in the season. They've now surpassed 400.
And a 4-pitch walk, though, puts Marino on base. A little uncharacteristic of Stipp there.
Might just be kind of shaking a little bit of the rust off from the long
He
inning.
gets long innings. Yeah, he's so far had 2 long innings.
That's the downside about being a starter in a game like this. You got a very long break period.
And he battled back there with a strike. This is Pizio, the shortstop, 9-hitter. Off speed, swing and a miss. In the dirt, blocked. Runner stays. Now you can see the shadow is working its way beyond home plate, working its way to the mound, and it won't be long before the plate will be in the sun again, and the pitch will be going from sun to shadow to sun. That one bounces away.
He didn't tip it, though. That's strike three.
Strike 3. Not a drop third strike because the base is occupied.
So I wonder, if the base runner tries to steal on that play, is that first base open on a drop third strike?
I would say no.
I think so, too.
My interpretation, yeah. That one's down the line, right field. Fair ball. Bounces in front of Valdez, and it's just a long single. Man on first. Marino had to wait to make sure that would fall in. So I don't know if there was a chance for a double because Valdez got to it pretty quickly.
What a throw, though, by Valdez, if you look. He just really rocketed that back to the infield. And if Marino was trying to go to third, he probably would have been out comfortably.
Alzate to the plate now. And he hits one out into center field. A little sun field. Making the catch, though, is Griffith. Nice job shielding the sun away, and that's 2 outs. Spartans already with 8 runs. They've left 6. 3 of them last inning. Actually, it must be 3 in both innings because they only played 2 innings.
Yeah, had 2 bases loaded spots that got retired. They did score runs beforehand.
Yes. That one's blooped down the line, and it's going to be foul into the Eckerd bullpen.
Yeah, you could tell it was going to land foul because the Spartans kind of stopped giving chase.
Yeah.
Would have been really bad if they stopped giving chase and it landed fair.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over well with the coach.
Yeah, 2 runs would have scored, and even in a scoreline where you're up by 8, you definitely don't want to do that. Only when you're up 20 can you afford to have a play where you fall asleep. And that's only happened once this year. Tampa's had a couple big scoring games. For instance, 16-4 against Cal State San Marcos, 14-3 against Valdosta State, but
Fouled off.
this is the first time, or yesterday was the first time, they cracked 20 runs in 2024. Or 2025.
Stipp on the rubber, gets set, and the pitch. Ground ball heading out to Woodburn, gobbles it up, inning is over. Nothing across, though 2 got on. We've played 2.5. Still 8-0 Tampa on top on TampaSpartans.tv. Bottom of the third we go. Tampa will send up Woodburn, Irigoyen, Valdez to the plate. 8-0 Tampa. These three batters will be coming up for their third time today, and it's the third inning. Nelson on the mound, pitched 2/3 of an inning. Walked 2, struck out 1, faced 4 batters, and threw 20 pitches.
Big thing is he did get out of the jam, bases loaded. 2 runs came home beforehand, but you can also argue he avoided any big hits that scored more.
Right. Spartans now have 7 of their 9 hitters have base hits in this game. Only J.D. Urso with multiple hits in this game. Woodburn to the plate. He's 1 for 2. A double, or a single scored and had an RBI. Grounded out to the pitcher last time.
By the way, this is Woodburn's 3rd appearance in 3 innings.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, he didn't even bat in the 2nd inning.
This is true.
He had 2 at-bats in the 1st. Tampa had 12 plate appearances to start the ball game.
First pitch was a little bit high. This one's a little bit low. That was a little high, but he went around anyway. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You can definitely tell he's got a good fastball. He's got a lot of swings and misses with it. Probably a mix of velo and spin on that.
And he goes high inside and then low outside on his 4 pitches so far. And it's 3-1. Framed it. And I think Marino thought it was strike 3. But it's actually only a full count. So it'll be a 3-2 pitch coming up from Nelson to Woodburn. Ball hit out towards second base, fielded by Jones, and the out. I don't know if Nelson deflected that or not, or just got by him and just wasn't hit that hard.
I think it hit the turf hard and it kind of slowed it down.
Hit the mound
to Jones. It landed close to it. I don't think it exactly hit it though.
Mm-hmm. So that will bring up Irigoyen to the plate. He and Woodburn share a couple secrets of the at-bat. So for the first time today, or this game anyway, the leadoff hitter does not get on. No, I take that back. I think there was a pop-up last inning to start the inning. I know Urso tripled to start the game.
Yeah, they got the out and then the trouble began.
Yeah. Two-0 pitch. Gets the strike call.
This is a big strike zone today. Gotta say, Marino's been able to pull things back. I think Irigoyen might be able to do the same once we roll to the top of the 4th.
Ground ball foul. Now, why is it when we see the catcher catch it and come in, we see it so easily that it was outside and he brought it in? To me, it was a strike whether you brought it in or not, because I don't think the umpire should be that fooled by a catcher moving it in when we can see it from here. Ball outside.
Yeah, that's probably the case. Is there you go. You look, you see the pitcher kind of backing away.
Yeah.
That's the sun kind of creeping forward.
Because now you've got mound in the sun, pitch the rubber to the plate, shade, batter's box, sun, and ball 4.
I'm surprised they called that ball 4.
Yeah, Marino wanted to throw it to third for the out.
Yeah, because 2 of the other pitches of the first previous at-bats were a bit more outside, but called strikes. I don't think Irigoyen will be complaining, though.
No.
Marino, probably not either, because you know what they say. Can't fight City Hall.
So runner on first, 1 out. And Valdez at the plate. Got a base hit and a walk, scored twice, and has an RBI. He's now batted in the first, second, and third. That looked good, strike call. That's low outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good recovery there by Nelson after the walk, Just getting in the driver's seat with those 2 fastballs.
Ball high, though, 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Oh, a nice hop. They get 1. The relay, I think he beat it out. No, they got him out. Inning double play. So the Spartans do not score here in the third. And now after 3 complete, it's 8-0 Tampa on top. You're watching on TampaSpartans.tv. We head to the 4th inning. Tampa on top 8-0, and I will turn over a chance for a save to Taylor Stolworthy.
Save would be a little bit early for that. Tampa still has a ways
so
to go.
I don't get credit. I'm going to re-enter.
Yeah, you're going to re-enter, so
all right.
I'll try to get the hold, I guess.
Okay.
8-0 Spartans and Stipp on the mound. You could get a save come 7th inning, maybe.
Okay.
And Tampa gets 2 more runs, and Stipp continues a shutout. Tampa could try to end the day early.
True.
Notably,
yeah,
both games of the series saw the Spartans up by double digits at that point in the ballgame.
So explain what's going to happen potentially here, because it's the second game of a doubleheader.
Yes, second game of the doubleheader. There's the run
in
ahead
this
rule
conference.
In the conference.
Yes.
I think other places in D2 use it too. But if you're up by 10 runs, the game can be called early if it gets to the 7th inning. It's also used in World Baseball Classic play, and whenever you play softball, that's also the standard. Except for softball, it's the 5th inning. Every game is done by the 7th inning usually. Except for the most recent 8-2 Spartans win over the Tritons. They won with 6 runs at the top of the 9th.
So if Tampa's got a 10-0 lead in the 6th, Eckerd gets to bat in the 7th. If they do not cut the lead down to single digits, it's over. Yep. If it's 9-0 in the bottom of the 7th and Tampa scores in the 7th, it's over at that point.
Exactly.
Don't have to finish the 7th.
It's basically treated as a walk-off game.
Okay.
Been a couple chances where that could have happened for the Spartans this season. I don't think
Didn't they have a walk-off home run to end a game in 7 innings earlier this year?
That's what
that sounds familiar.
I'm trying to double-check our schedule to see it. We've had a couple of chances. Yes, it was against Embry-Riddle.
I remember joking that it was a walk-off win to make it like 12-0.
It was 10-0, yes. Yeah, exactly. We did that against the Eagles, closing the door in 7. It's the first time we've done that in a little while. Don't think we had last year, as that's going to be a leadoff single for Jones. Battle to a 2-1 count, and now they get a base runner.
I don't remember if it was a walk-off homer, but it was a walk-off hit for a 10-0 win.
I think it might have been a homer.
Yeah, I think so.
It was like maybe like a 2-run shot. I can double check as we get set for the second Gelwick at bat of the game. He had a fly out to center field previously. There was another Spartan game where we were up by 10 for a while, but then a 6-run seventh inning ended the chances to try to end the day early. Urso just
nice
barely.
Nice effort by JD there.
Yeah, it was very close. By the way, funny enough, Stipp did go the distance in that game against Embry-Riddle.
Okay.
It was the second game of a doubleheader. It was March 22nd.
Okay.
Tampa didn't walk it off. It actually got to the top of the 7th. And here's how the 7th had went. As here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss 0-2. He was able to walk, strike out, single. There was a fielder's choice, and then had a ground out to end the inning.
Okay.
But for now, he's got an 8-run lead, trying to hold on to it. Swing and a miss. Fastball gets strikeout number 2 for Stipp. Make it 3 for Stipp. 1 away, 1 aboard.
Now, it wasn't too many years ago, and I might be off. It might have been 5 or more, but it wasn't too many years ago. The doubleheaders were all 7 innings.
Yeah, and that was during the COVID rules. I don't mind that rule for the 7-inning doubleheaders, but I do think having them for 9 innings usually.
The coaches didn't like it.
Yeah, and I heard some of the stats and stuff a little bit. Mm-hmm. Gives you less time to play too. And of course, did that in MLB as well.
Yes.
I believe they even changed the home and away teams sometimes for those doubleheaders when they were doing the MLB games. So 1-1 count to Shoemaker. He grounded out to short, and he'll get ahead 2-1. Wonder if Stipp might be looking for a double play here. Down the line and foul, 2-2. Looking ahead, Tampa's going to close out their conference season against Barry and St. Leo before being one of the 2 hosts for South Regional play on May 15th. Meanwhile, the Tritons will have their senior weekend on the 2nd and 3rd. 4 strikeouts for Stipp. He retires Shoemaker, 2 away. And then they'll travel to Embry-Riddle on a trip to Daytona to close out their regular season. Without a conference tournament, I don't think Tritons will be in the postseason this year, unfortunately. It's always the fun thing about conference tournaments. Gives you a chance to make it to the playoffs, even when you're pretty far down the conference standings.
Well, if they do that like basketball, and I know you know some of the other sports, there's 11 teams in the conference, so the conference tournament are the top 8.
Yeah. The Tritons borderline. The weekend series so far against Tampa has not helped them try to get top 8.
They're 11th.
But other sports like soccer and lacrosse do utilize conference tournaments. Softball doesn't, baseball doesn't, volleyball doesn't. And that's just for the broadcasted sports too. Tampa did just win the men's lacrosse tournament.
Yeah.
They host Florida Southern for the women's lacrosse championship tomorrow, as that will be a force out by Woodburn to end the inning. And the top of the 4th, despite that leadoff single, is quiet for the Tritons. The Spartans will be bringing up 6, 7, and 8 as senior day continues here at UTampa. Probably Sardinia.
I think I'm going to wait till I get home.
And we're back here in the bottom of the 4th here at the University of Tampa's baseball field, the house that Urso built. I think it is safe to maybe call it that since the field went under renovations a couple years ago. adding the turf field. Former Eckerd player Joe Muzio was a fan of the stadium when he visited a few seasons back. Wonder if he's watching his old team. Got to give him a shout-out on the broadcast. We were together with the Elmira Pioneers a few years ago up in New York. Nelson will remain on the mound. The high stuff, high walk guy has been good so far, giving up 3 free passes, but no hits.
Now, you went up to Elmira a couple seasons ago and did a Wood Bat Summer League, right?
Yes, I did.
Is that something you would look to do again, or you just wanted that experience?
Potentially. Kind of both to get that experience, but there's other Wood Bat leagues. Wouldn't mind going back there.
I mean, not necessarily at Elmira, but a Summer League thing again?
Exactly. Especially
Okay.
if it paid. That would be good, too.
Yeah.
The other one with Elmira was an internship.
It was an internship?
Yep.
Was it paid in some way, though?
Gas money, yep.
Oh,
it was
okay.
paid.
All right. And
But-
room and board?
Not really.
Eh.
But you know what? You take what you can get for the
Yes.
experience.
Well, I know. You want the resume.
Exactly. Especially because everywhere just has about 5 years of experience out of college.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You've got a ton here.
that's unfortunate. Any students watching definitely know the pain of job applications
Yep.
and stuff.
And you know you've got me
Unfortunately-
as a reference if needed for
Perfect.
something.
I appreciate it.
I'll say nice things about you.
Yep.
Nicer if you pay me more.
Of course. 2 strikes now to Ashby. I always trust Tom Colby for that, too. But maybe
he
I
can be
shouldn't.
bought.
Maybe Tom is trying to sabotage me. I don't know. He loves me through the Spartan games. Maybe he's saying, oh, yeah, we love him, but we want to keep him in Tampa. I'm obviously just kidding. Got to give
No.
a shout-out to Tom Colby. 1-2 count for Ashby. Fell behind quickly, but he's back level. I know Tom was definitely busy with the men's lacrosse earlier
he's
today.
been running back and forth here.
Yeah, he's always busy on game days and regional performances. Deep drive by Ashby. Tampa hasn't gone yard this weekend, and it won't go yard, but extra bases to start the inning.
Go,
Maybe
go.
a triple. Ashby's going to head to third. Throw is not in time. Ball gets
it's gonna
away.
hit.
Ashby's going to go home, and it's out of play, so he will score. The umpire was calling that the
Yeah,
play was
signaled it
dead
home.
before the throw came in. The throw also hit off of Ashby, so he would have been safe either way.
Now, that might just be a double with multiple errors.
I
Because
think
it was
so.
bobbled coming off the wall. And I think they'd have held him to 2
Yes.
had he fielded it cleanly.
It's a triple and throwing error from the shortstop, I think.
Okay.
Because I don't think they were going to get him out at third.
No, but
It was a close play.
I don't think he was going to go to third if center fielder
He was
wouldn't have
right.
bobbled it.
Right, the bobble. Yeah, it's
My
a trick
take.
question.
That's my take.
So the scorer said it was a triple. You say it was a double.
I say it's a double.
I say it makes it 9-0.
Yes. You win.
1-0 now for Maddox King. Or no, not Maddox King. Joe Stella back at the plate for the Spartans. He cleared the bases back in the first inning with a bases clearing triple. And that one wasn't a, there was a bobbled throw triple. He just
It was a
cleanly,
triple.
or not even a triple. He actually got to second.
Yes.
I think they scored it
They cleared
incorrectly
it.
as a triple. And actually, I'm wrong. It's not even Stella. It's Karstetter. I went 0 for 3 just then.
And they are saying that he tripled to center
Yes, they're saying Ashby tripled, Stella doubled,
and shortstop. with the
Karstetter
thrower.
singled, and he's looking to get back on board here, 2-1.
I may go query them about that.
Potentially.
Decision. Not that they should change it, just wondering how they decided.
Well, you can always change things in the middle of the game. And I do wonder. I mean, we are the official scores as that goes.
Yeah, but you don't want to take
2-2.
a triple away from a Spartan.
Exactly, if you can help it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do have to correct it when there's like an obvious call. I recently went to a Yankees game. They were facing Tampa Bay Rays, and a Max Fried no-hitter got ended because they changed an error call to a single. Now, Chandler Simpson, who might be the fastest player in baseball, as that's hit up the middle, Karstetter will be safe. He's got some speed, but Simpson's a bit faster. He was going to beat out a very close play at first, but Goldschmidt couldn't make the defensive play at first. They called it an error on him, but because there was no way first was going to get covered, they just reverted it to a hit. So it ended a no-hit bid as he entered the 8th.
Okay.
Good news is, though, Fried gave up a single, so it's not like the scoring changed.
But it wasn't
ended
a
chance at
controversial call, though, was it?
history. A bit.
A bit.
For Yankees fans, it was.
Okay.
Other fans, not as much.
That
and
was
again,
recent, right?
Yes, it
Was
was.
that the Aaron Judge home run, wasn't?
That one,
game?
too, and that was more controversial.
That was
I
the
will-
same game?
I will say that was still a home run. Same
I would,
game.
too.
And in that at-bat, after Judge went down looking, he got ejected. And that's the time where I will say, yes, you should argue with City Hall. You should
Yes.
fight them because they made a wrong decision.
Well, they had replay, but if you look at the foul poles here, they're not that tall.
No.
Major League parks are probably twice that size, if not more.
And you know Aaron Judge, he can hit it where it's still very
yeah,
far away
it's
from the foul
elevating.
poles. He's one of the few people that could probably hit it over the net at Tampa.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was a home run derby he could, or maybe if he just got a meatball, he probably would as well.
Yeah.
Stella could try to hit it over the net. Probably won't, but he's ahead 2-1.
When you saw where that ball bounced, or the tree, the leaves of the palm tree, or the fronds,
it looked like it was fair.
That was fair by 15 feet.
Yeah. Again, it is also kind of the angle of the cameras and where you're looking at it from.
But I think that was down the
tell.
baseline, that angle.
It was close enough down the baseline where it should have been.
It
just
wasn't
outside.
that deceptive or misleading.
So just interesting as a whole. Yankees still won 3-0, so
Yeah.
no harm, no foul.
Other than he didn't get an HR, and he'll end up with, 700 some?
That is fouled away.
I don't even remember what Barry Bonds had. I was going to say 754 for Hank Aaron, but
I think there's a chance Judge hit 700.
Yeah.
You know, he's still only 30. He's about 300 or so, and he's averaging about 40 a year.
yeah.
10 more years, and that's about as...
Well, Hank Aaron never hit 50 in his career.
Exactly. Harder to have this level of longevity these days as Stella draws a walk. 2 aboard, no one out. And here comes Jake Griffith, bottom of the Spartans order.
Connor is sitting over there going, man, these guys go off on tangents.
Certainly do.
They're always so intelligent, though.
Agreed. Thank you, Connor. Good words. 2 on, no one out. Here comes Jake Griffith using the CM Punk theme song. WrestleMania was last weekend, as that's going to miss down low for ball 1. Speaking of records, John Cena has now won the most world heavyweight titles in history.
Really?
And when I was covering a Daytona State game last week against Drew Felios, he gave me an interesting fun fact. Macho Man Randy Savage used to play baseball.
That was a bit inside.
That was. Almost hit him, 2-0.
Went behind his legs. Is Cena from the area? No.
I don't think from Florida.
Okay.
I believe he's from up north. He was a Red Sox fan.
Oh, okay.
CM Punk had a famous promo calling him the New York Yankees because of how much he was winning in the WWE.
Not sure who I was thinking of.
There's definitely some wrestlers from Florida.
Okay.
There's also in Orlando the Development Center, I believe. And in Full Sail, they have plenty of NXT shows there. That's where the students at that university put them on as the bases are loaded with no one out.
We've seen this before.
Yeah, today and throughout the weekend, I think it's the 6th or 7th time, the Spartans have loaded the bases with no one out.
At least a couple to come in here. You want to pad it going into the 7th.
I want to get a couple extra runs of advantage.
Just so you have some wiggle room.
And
How
Urso
about a grand slam for our first homer of the weekend?
would love it. But that's easier said than done, especially with how the baseball has been flying. Ball 1 inside. Urso's had a good day. His final regular season home game as a Spartan has seen him get 2 hits and an RBI walk. He batted in the first and second innings. That was a strike, 1-1. It's a farewell game for some of these Spartans players, even though they will be back here in a couple weeks' time for regional play. But it is still kind of that bittersweet moment, knowing it's one of the final times you'll play here in front of the fans.
Yeah, and speaking of Wood Bat Leagues, JD is going to go coach in a Wood Bat League this summer.
Up in Cape Cod. He's played there before.
Yes.
But now he's going to be managing as he looks to kind of fill
I'm
his
not sure if
father's
he's
shoes.
managing or just coaching. I don't know if he's going to be the manager of the
Probably
team.
a mix
I
of
think
both.
He's going to be on the coaching staff.
2-2 now as he looks at that one just up high. Definitely, he has a very good mentor in terms of coaching.
Yeah,
Wonder if eventually you'll see the father-son duo in the Sunshine State Conference. That one, strike 3, and Urso is not super happy. It looked a little outside. He is bewildered as he walks back to the dugout. And Endel, he's just like,
just please go back.
I'm not changing my call. Don't argue about it.
He's still got things to say. I got to give Endel credit for just letting him say his piece.
Yeah, I know a lot of umpires at the
They like a
professional.
confrontation.
Yeah, they like confrontations, and they will eject someone for the very littlest of things.
Connor's laughing. Have you seen that in soccer? No? Okay.
So I'm glad that Endel didn't necessarily try to make it the ump show, as that sometimes happens.
Yes.
Got to give a credit here. It's also good to not have to be too aggressive in a 9-0 scoreline.
Yes.
He's probably just like, listen, JD, you're up by 9 runs.
Yeah.
Don't stress
now,
it.
I'm just wondering about this conference. If you were to get ejected, do you miss the next game?
I know it's a rule for soccer, but
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt
not
it.
for baseball. It'd have to be a suspension. Because I don't think that normally it's a suspension after you get ejected.
Okay.
It's just if they say you are. Obviously, you get a red card, you do.
Yeah.
There's also the blue card that they might be adding soon. At the high school level, it takes you out of the game but doesn't suspend you. This will make it a 10-0 Spartan league, tagging up and heading home as Carstetter. 2 away, 2 aboard, and Saladino brings home a run.
So we've got the double digits.
It would be really cool if there was yellow and red cards in baseball. The umpire just pulls out the yellow card after someone argues a strike, and then just shows the double yellow or red once they argue again.
Or a base call or something.
That would make ejections a lot more fun. I got to say that.
Yeah.
Then you could show a little graphic. Hey, he's got a yellow card entering this at bat. He's got to be careful if the umpire says something on the outside corner. Or he could throw a yellow card to a pitcher after he hits someone.
Yeah.
And then the second yellow if he plunks someone else.
There you go. Revolutionizing the game. That wouldn't speed up the game necessarily, and that's been most of the concerns lately.
As long as they don't write down the bookings, they don't slow it down either.
Yeah.
Given that you already write someone stuff down for baseball, I guess you probably could get away with it. 1-1 now. The first pitch was a strike. Second pitch a ball to Woodburn. And now you see the shadow directly over the pitcher's mound. That'll make receiving the ball a little more difficult. Current Ole Miss reliever Alex Caney had his worst performance of the year against Barry in a similar situation where the game started on a Friday night and he had to deal with the shadows on the mound. And there were multiple hits that were hit his way that he couldn't corral because it was tough to see. Didn't stop Caney from being part of the national championship winning team and completing his Spartans career with a stellar season. And now he's got a sub-3 ERA over with a top 10 team in D1.
He was so efficient.
Yeah. He was so reliable his multiple years as a starter. Originally was a setup man, jumped to the rotation, and just really never looked back. Strike 2, full count for Woodburn.
I was checking if anybody's wondering how dominant this team is at 21-2 in conference play right now. Last year,
ball 4, bases loaded.
National champions last year, 24-6 in conference play. So they're currently at a better pace.
Main difference is out-of-conference play. Tampa last year in out-of-conference matchups,
2 losses.
28-2.
Yeah.
This year in out-of-conference play, we are 16-4.
Okay.
But keep in mind, we haven't had any tournament games.
Yeah.
That's where we have a lot of out-of-conference matchups.
Yes.
And I think they do count conference games in tournament as out-of-conference, too.
You mean if they play a conference team in the tournament?
It's not going to count as a conference
game.
record.
Right.
So say we face Rollins, it's like, okay, it's out-of-conference games.
Yes.
And I know some Sunshine State Conference teams have had in-conference opponents play as out-of-conference opponents.
Well, Tampa played St. Leo earlier this year on a Tuesday.
Precisely. That didn't count for conference play.
Did not. It was a non-conference game.
But it was a fun Tampa derby. The 1-1 misses.
I've seen a couple others, not Tampa games, but other teams playing each other because you can't. It's hard to get teams to come down here in the middle of a season. You'll see a lot of teams come down from the north or even just from Georgia for non-conference games.
Yeah, it's easier at the start of the season as that hits up the middle, picked up at second, flip, they get the out. Almost got to the outfield, would have scored more. Jones to Pizio ends the inning. And while Nelson has his weakest inning on the mound, he's still stranded, the bases loaded, and we'll be back with more action on TampaSpartans.tv. And we're ready to go for a brand new inning. 10 runs, Spartans lead. Welcome back to you, Tampa. Taylor Sorley, Jack Ike wrapping up the weekend series, wrapping up the regular season. This sadly might be the final home game you can watch on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. You might be on the NCAA platform come regional time.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I think it is tournament. Yeah, regional.
I think
NCAA.
there's a way, there's like a cheap package or something you can get from the NCAA to watch or something. Not 100% sure, but either way, make sure you check it out because you're going to want to keep up with the Spartans come postseason time.
Definitely. Now, something interesting is it's great that we offer free streaming for the Sunshine State Conference for D2. The state of Wisconsin, there's a conference called the Wisconsin Interstate Athletic Conference. It's D3 sports. And they just decided over the week or over the midweek that they're going to charge for streaming games. You have to buy the per game or a package. And a lot of people and coaches are unhappy.
Can't blame them.
Because they say, we use that as a recruiting tool. We want people to watch. We tell recruits to watch our game. And we can't tell them you got to pay $5 or get a package.
Exactly.
So I chimed in with, I do a D2 conference. It's free.
Yep. I think it's also a reason why a ton of conferences and people work with Flow College instead of solo packages as that's filed away, because even though you have to pay for Flow Sports, it is a popular sports service, so you get some extra money for the conference revenue, and it is a one-stop shop that it's broadcasted on. I do prefer our system, and not only just because it's the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network, we're obligated to hype it up as that one's filed away, but having it free and having most of our replays free to watch is good too.
Yeah.
I also like it because it gives me good resume material. Leaping back to that part of the conversation we had last inning. But I know we don't always post baseball replays just to make sure that opposition teams don't always get the best scouting against us.
Yeah, basketball did not like to post them until like the next weekend because they didn't want the upcoming opponent to be able to see what they're doing. If you watch live, good for you.
Exactly. Incentivizes you to watch live too. 2-2 count now from Stipp to Marino. Fouled away.
Connor, is there still more pizza? All right. A whole nother. Okay.
Ooh.
I got to get over there then.
Well, have your sandwich. I know you brought one from Subway.
I want to take that home.
It's probably healthier than the pizza, though. I'll say that. 2-2 coming up. 3-2 missing down low.
Well, see, last time we did the game, my daughter texted me and said, we're going to this place, Draft House for dinner. Do you want anything? And what I didn't read was text mom. So I texted her back and said I want the French dip, I think is what I said.
Hit sharply to short. Saladino's there. Ursa makes the catch. One away.
So I go home and I'm like, where's my French dip?
And it's like,
She goes, you didn't text mom anything. We wondered. I'm like, what do you mean text mom? I said, well, that's what I wrote. I said, why didn't you bring your phone? Well, I didn't want to.
Oh, geez.
So I had to make a ham and cheese sandwich.
Unfortunate. I've got to decide what I want to do for dinner at home tonight. I think my family's going to go out to see the Rowdies in action. They've got the first game of the USL Cup starting. Give a shout out to Drew Fellius. I'm pretty sure he's going to be on the broadcast for that.
I just read, speaking of a tangent again, that the city of St. Pete is thinking about tearing down Al Lang Stadium and making like some multi-purpose venue for concerts and stuff. I mean, it's a beautiful location.
It is.
And it was a great place for was it the White Sox played there for years?
It was, I think, the Cardinals.
Cardinals for 30, 40 years.
In my opinion is, why not just like convert it to a part-time amphitheater?
Yeah.
The stadium seats just work that same way. The only way I could see that happening is if they move with the Rays into Tampa, as the catch is made in right field. Good job arranging by Valdez. They're also under the same ownership, too, so it might be tied with the Tropicana Field deal.
And the Rays started their spring training when they were a fledgling expansion team. That was their training. I don't know how many years they did it, a couple, I think.
It would make sense for them to stay.
I mean, that would be great.
Al Lang for spring training.
Your home field is, you could see it.
So you could have both teams kind of next to each other as the count goes 1-0. And even though I might be biased because I do love seeing Rowdies games there, I almost like it more than Tropicana Field as a stadium.
It's a neat stadium.
It's really cozy.
And I think it would just have been a marvelous spring training site.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Right on the water.
Or a single A.
And in the Florida
like they
State
do now,
League.
Florida State League. I think the umpire's giving Irigoyen a chance. I think that ball bounced up and might have hit him in the neck.
Yeah, just make sure he's all good. We'll say. It'll be interesting to see the Trop get renovated. The Rays this year are playing at Steinbrenner Field. And I see you're shaking your head, Jack.
Tear it down. Get him something. I don't care if it's the same spot.
Maybe use Al Ling as well as the count goes 1-1. Be cool to see you do a couple baseball games again.
Yeah.
I think they'd have to reinstall a wall, though. Or bring in like a makeshift wall that
Right.
sometimes happens for D2 tournament play for softball. 1-2 now to Garrido.
I just think it's too bad they can't find a Tampa area site.
Swing and a miss, and Stipp gets another strikeout to retire the side. 5 in the game. And we'll be back with more action on TampaSpartans.tv. Sounds good. Don't light that fire, someone 911. Charlie's on it, don't. Good. And we're back ready to go here on TampaSpartans.tv. As Jack enjoys a pizza, we've got a new player coming out from the bullpen. It is Nick Rainey entering the game. He is 0 for 2 this season in terms of his record. .359 batting average allowed, but he's got the only .350 batting average surrendered and a sub-10 ERA for the Eckerd Tritons team. Now, most of the time, that's not really a flex, but the Eckerd team as a whole has a .923 team ERA on the season. So, based off their very, I think, offense-friendly ballpark and stuff, it is good when you have a high ERA. It's kind of interesting. I'd love to see the ERA plus totals for D2 play, accounting for park factors and stuff, because I imagine that a lot of those numbers, which are high, aren't necessarily as bad as you'd expect based off run-scoring metrics. Due up for the Spartans is Valdez, Ashby, and Karstetter. Bottom of the 5th, Tampa leading by double digits for another matchup. Valdez is 1 for 2 today. That misses inside ball 1. And that'll make it 1-1. Five for 7 is the stat line for the 3 players due up for the Spartans. Definitely anticipate one of them will get on base. And yes, they will. Valdez up the middle, just out of range of Pizzio. Leadoff single. This might be the only game this weekend that the Spartans get more runs than hits, or more hits than runs. Against Eckerd on Friday, 27 runs to 20 hits. And against Eckerd on Saturday, earlier today, 16 runs, 12 hits. And in both games, Eckerd had 7 hits in the first one, 12 hits in the second. So they are also responding at the plate, although Stipp has had more success than any Spartan starter so far. Strike 1. Ashby 2 for 2. He also walked in the second. As a team, the Spartans have also had a ton of ball fours. 9 of them in the ball game. I don't think we track weekend data for the most walks in a specific weekend, but this would be up there for the Spartans. 37 walks for the weekend so far. Incredible plate discipline. Vintage U Tampa. Karstetter on deck, 3-0 count to Ashby. And that is ball 4. No. It was 2-1, so it's now 3-1. Up the middle, Valdez is going to get to second. He won't get to third. Good news for the Tritons, they avoid another walk. Bad news is Tampa gets their 12th hit. As I said back in the first inning, though, you'd rather challenge the Spartans, make them earn their base runners, rather than let them walk the bases loaded like usual. And Karstetter going to try to convert right here. He is the lone Spartan, one of 3 Spartan players to go down in strikes, but since then he's singled twice. And he's going to get plunked. Bases loaded, no one out. For the 3rd time today. Here comes Stella, and I think this is the 3rd time he's seen bases loaded. This has allowed him to have a very strong senior day performance. His 3 RBI triple, and he also walked. I think he did get the bases loaded with his walk in the 4th. He also had a strikeout in the 2nd. No activity from the Eckerd bullpen. They're hoping Rainey can make it through the inning. Down low, just missing with the front door curveball. If Tampa does go to the bench in this game, I imagine they would just bring more seniors on. Give them a chance to shine here on senior day. And the count goes 0-1, or 1-1. The reason being, you probably want to give more chances for your seniors than instead of the freshmen. This is the final home game for the regular season for the seniors. There's a deep fly ball by Stella. Should bring home a run. Caught by Garrido. Quickly headed home is Valdez. And they don't get the out at home, not in time. It was picked up by Marino, but couldn't turn to make the tag. Good throw by Garrido to get it to home plate. Ashby to third, Valdez to the plate, 11-0 Spartans. Here comes the best in the world. Jake Griffith back to the plate for U Tampa. And they have now had double digits for 3 straight games. 5 of their last 9 have seen the Spartans put up 10 or more. They beat Rollins 15-2. They had a 9-6 win and a 14-5 win against the Tars. Ball 1. They beat Florida Tech in a sweep last weekend. They won 8-4, 9-2, and 4-2. And here, they have been dominant so far. And here in the bottom of the 5th, they're looking to extend their advantage further. Ball gets away. That'll send Ashby home. Karstetter to second. 12-0 Spartans. Marino and Escobar have had busy weekends behind home plate. Escobar even got replaced in the first game, where he saw a ton of wild pitches and balls he had to dive in front of. And I got to give credit for the catcher. He did a great job playing defense there, only letting a few get past him. Ball 3 to Griffith. Urso on deck. Him and Saladino ready to go again. And 2 aboard. 1 away. First walk of the inning for the Spartans. There was a hit by pitch for Karstetter. Urso will try to load the bases or do something more. Walked in a run in the second, singled and tripled in the first inning. Went down looking in the fourth, and was not happy about the strike 3 call against Stendhal. Was a slider that clipped the corner. He shouldn't have fought City Hall there. And this time he's going to send the ball to left. That'll drop and load the bases. Third hit of the day for J.D. Urso. Very strong senior day performance. Here comes Nico Saladino. Saladino swinging a drive to right field. That's caught, and they'll tag up the runners. 13-0 Spartans as they'll both make it to third and home safely. Griffith to third, Carstetter to the plate. Sac fly for Saladino. He's yet to get a hit, but he now has 2 runs on 2 sac flies. 2 on for Braden Woodburn in the bottom of the 5th. Strike, no, ball 1. That looked like it landed in the zone. Close call there. Woodburn singled to start the game, and he walked in the 4th. Grounded out back to end the 1st and to start the 3rd. That's going to be strike 1, hitting the inside corner. There is some activity from the Eckerd bullpen. Wonder if they would bring out Rainey again for the 6th. And that's going to be ball 2. 7:03 p.m., still not sunset. You can tell it's getting closer to the summer months. The shadows creeping forward. There's that little sliver of light now over the mound. Makes it tough for Rainey to work. And that one fell right over the heart of the plate. 2-2 with 2 away now to Woodburn. Tampa's number 2. Chopped and foul, still 2-2. Wonder if they'd send Urso here. Might not be a bad idea. Could be the first time today that the Spartans don't end the inning with the bases loaded. Or the second time. Left them loaded in the 1st, 2nd, and 4th. That gets away. Both runners will advance. And even though it took a pretty nice bounce to try to get back to the plate in time, Rainey wasn't able to cover, so Urso to second, Griffith home, and Tampa has now scored 4 here in the bottom of the 5th. Second time a run is scored in this inning thanks to a wild pitch. 3-2 count for Woodburn. They've got Irigoyen on deck. Driven to center field. Center fielder can't fight it. That's going to land at the wall, and it's a ground rule double. It'll score, so from second, and Woodburn will stay there with a stand-up ground rule double. You saw Alzate fighting the sun. He wasn't able to track it, and it didn't matter. It was going to land behind him either way. 15-0 Tampa. Pre-game, all the Tampa seniors were honored. You'd expect Santiago Garavito to be part of the list, but actually, he was honored in last year's senior day. He didn't need a repeat. That's going to be lined and caught at second. Nice play by Jones. And that'll end the inning. Tampa scores 5. We're headed to the top of the 6th. Call to the pen. Stipp had 5 shutout innings. He was only on 73 pitches, but given Tampa's comfortable lead, they don't need Stipp to go the complete game distance again. They'll give him the rest of the day off, and here comes Ryan Stefuk. Stefuk had an at-bat this weekend, doubled, and made it home as a base runner. He now leads Tampa with a 2,000 slugging and a 1,000 average. He only has given up a 157 average against and a 180 ERA. I think with the most recent Michael Alfonso home run surrendered, he now has moved to first place in terms of the Spartans pitching staff for ERA, so we'd have the ERA crown and the batting title for Tampa. I mentioned he was player of the game yesterday, but even though he probably actually wasn't, it would be one of the Spartans who was very good at the plate. There wasn't really any Spartan who shone at the plate yesterday. There wasn't any standout performance where you say, wow, they did amazing. It was just everyone did very good in that 27-1 victory. Everyone got on board. Everyone scored its runs. And whether it was the first 9 batters or the second 9 batters that played, it was just a flawless day for the Spartans. And it's continued what has been a flawless weekend. Stefuk looking for 3 outs right here. Eckerd have 6 outs to find 5 runs. Alzate will lead off. First pitch. Strike 1. Just hits inside. This is one of the best weekend run-scoring outings the Spartans have had in a long time. They had plenty of weekends last year where they had double-digit wins every single game, or double-digit run performances every single game. But it was only at the Eckerd series on the road last year that I think they have been this strong in terms of their victory margins and total runs scored, as that's going to miss down low 1 and 2. Last year against the Tritons, they scored 40 over 3 games. This year against the Tritons, they now are getting close to 60, I think. They've had 58 over the weekend. That's missing inside, 2 and 2. Alzate having to back away, that one missed. There have been a few hit by pitches, but obviously Tampa would not try to retaliate. You're up by a lot. No reason to try to respond. Swing and a miss. And a big strikeout for Stefuk to start the inning. Stark back at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Looking to turn things around. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Another whiff there for Stefuk. Fouled back. And here comes the infield switch against the left-hander. They move Karstetter to that shortstop position, Saladino to that third base position. That's the thing I mentioned they sometimes do against the lefty when they have a very aggressive shift. 1 and 2. That one misses down low. And yeah, I really have to dive into the schedule to find out when the Spartans last had a 60-run weekend. As that'll be strike 3. Payne to the corner. Stark goes down looking. 2 away. A win here would propel Tampa to 14 wins in a row. Kind of doing the reverse of starting the season with a 15-game win streak, but trying to end it with a 15-plus game win streak. Jones, 2 hits today. He's back at the plate. 25 is Tampa's longest winning streak, happened back in 2010.
Okay.
That's a swing and a miss, 0-1. 21 was also their second longest.
There you saw the ball thrown out, and he just bailed out.
I do not blame Stefiuk. It is very bright out there.
So he's pitching today, huh? Not hitting?
Nope. Maybe he gets a plate appearance. Depends if Tampa goes for some subs in the bottom of the 6th. I theorize they should bring on some senior subs.
Yeah.
If they wanted to for the senior day game.
He put a lot in last game and yesterday as well, but not everybody was a senior.
Here comes the 0-1. Hit to short. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Stefiuk, pending good throw, and indeed that throw's on target. Great outing from the bullpen. Final line score, I forgot to mention for Stipp, 5 innings, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. In line for win number 8, and we'll be back. Last chance for the Spartans to extend their advantage. If you take a look at the Spartan record books and our superlatives on our website, Tampa and Eckerd have set a lot of records together. Most of them are for the Spartans, but the coolest one, I think, was the most combined hits on April 8th, 2006, in a matchup between the Tritons and Spartans. Tampa had 27 hits. The Tritons had 16 hits. The 43 hits is the most combined hits in a game for the Spartans' history, which is pretty cool. And it's cool that at least a third of them came from the Tritons, too. It'd kind of be depressing if it was like 40 for the Spartans and only 3 for the Tritons. There have been 14 hits today for Tampa, 3 for Eckerd. Stipp and Stefiuk have shut them down. Tampa's offense looking for one last gasp here before we head to Last Chance Saloon at the top of the 7th.
I don't know if you reported it, but there's 3 finals in for the second games of the doubleheaders. Embry-Riddle beat Palm Beach Atlantic 7-3, and Lynn beat St. Leo 8-3, and Barry a 9-0 win over Florida Tech.
I'll check on Florida Southern and Nova Southeastern. This will determine if the Mocs stay in contention.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like they will.
I know they're on the road, right? They're at Nova.
They are at Nova. Last night they lost 10-9 in a close one.
Yeah.
They won earlier today. That's fouled. No fair from Valdez. And good play by the third baseman to let it roll foul. So yeah, Florida Southern has a 7-1 defeat against the Sharks today. And a 7-6 defeat against the Sharks. But it said that Florida Southern won one of those games. Must have been softball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it must have been softball. I'm
right.
getting myself confused here. Anyway, Valdez will go again. He would have been safe, but smart play at the hot corner to let the ball roll away by Basildo to keep the at-bat going. A 2-1 lead for the Mocs at the moment against Florida Southern, or Nova Southeastern.
Ooh.
Fouled away by Valdez.
Turned on that.
If the Mocs hold on to this 1-run lead, they will stay at 8 conference losses and will have a chance to be co-champions should the Spartans
A lot would have to happen.
Yes, a lot would have to happen. Otherwise,
a lot of good for one team, a lot of bad for the other.
If Nova beats them, then it's only Rollins, who also has 6 conference games left, who can try to win out and Tampa loses out to be co-champions. And there's no tiebreaker to determine the title as Valdez makes it 2-2.
No, you're just co-champions.
Yep. Tampa would have tiebreaker, I think, since we beat Rollins in our series. We swept them, I think. Not think, I know.
Now,
That's going to be strike 3.
Rollins and Lynn already have more games in hand, so of the final 2 weekends, they're each going to get one of them off.
Yeah, and Rollins is having this weekend off. They're on, well,
okay.
Not off because they're facing Colorado Mesa.
They're off of conference.
They're having a really tough out-of-conference opponent.
Yeah.
Colorado Mesa, continual top 20 team in the nation. You know, they're one of the names that sticks out for really strong D2 athletic programs in general. And the same is true this year for baseball. Lynn will have another out-of-conference, I think, opponent later. Or maybe a bye week, too.
They do not play next Friday.
So that would probably be the Lynn. But they do face Nova Southeastern.
But they play Nova Southeastern on Saturday.
A triple header? Or Saturday and Sunday?
Am I not reading it right? No? Saturday.
Scroll back up. Yeah, no, doubleheader Saturday, no game on Friday.
And what about Sunday then? And then Sunday.
And Sunday. So it's a single Sunday and 2 on Saturday. 1-1 count on the way for Ashby. That'll miss outside 2-1.
Now, I think there are some midweek games that will be non-conference. On Tuesday of this week, Nova Southeastern plays at Palm Beach Atlantic. And on Thursday, that might be the beginning of the weekend because it's Embry-Riddle against Florida Southern. Yeah, they start their weekend early.
Yeah, they do not
single
play.
Game Thursday, single game Friday, and single game Saturday. So it gets kind of convoluted this time of year.
Yeah, sometimes the schedules work a bit differently. Ashby, a deep fly ball into the gap. No one can get to it. That's going to drop and maybe be a triple. Rolls all the way to the wall. They're sending Ashby to 3. Are they going to let him go home? Well, no. The ball was going to be there in time.
Yep.
Standing triple for Ashby. 1 on, 1 away. And here comes Matthew Fogel off the bench for the Spartans. Stella in the on-deck circle. And another player coming off the bench for you, Tampa. Nope, it is Griffith, actually. So Carstetter out for Fogel. Makes sense. Carstetter is the DH. I believe Fogel is also a senior, so they want to give him a chance here on senior day. 1 away. Chance to try to get an RBI. And he might do just that. Deep fly ball. Both outfielders ranging. Catch made. It is 16-0 Spartans. Successful sac fly by Matthew Fogel, his 4th RBI of the year. 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. What a day for Stella. Walked, doubled, sac fly. He has 4 RBIs.
Take advantage of your chances.
He has led the way in RBIs for the team. Saladino and Woodburn also 2 each. Tampa's brought home 16 runs, 13 of them off RBIs. Deep fly ball, but foul from Stella. Some of the RBIs came off of walks, others from hits, and a couple of runs scored via wild pitches.
I was watching that foul ball. Cleared the fence. There was a woman walking her dog on the sidewalk, and it came within about 5 feet of her. She kind of looked back like, whoa.
Always watch where you're walking here at U Tampa. Caught in left field. Had some ride to it, but Stella couldn't clear the fences. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th. 3 more outs to go for Tampa for this doubleheader to close out their regular season homestand. We'll be back on TampaSpartans.tv. And we're back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Now coming in for the save, it's Jack Ike. But also, it's Carson Queso taking the mound.
Not coming in for the save is Carson Queso, though. Yep. Carson is at number 36, a junior. He actually got introduced for senior day. He's from Tampa Wharton High School. And last year's batting average champion, 1-for-1 for the season last year. This is his 5th appearance this year, though.
He's been more active from the bullpen for the Spartans. His .386 ERA. He's struck out 3, walked 3, given up 3 hits and 3 runs over 4 2/3 innings. Notably, has the 3rd best batting average against for the team, .176.
Nice. And a good guy, too.
Oh, yeah. And you love it when a good guy like him does good on the mound.
Yep, and gets those opportunities. Tampa is hitting .536 this game. 15 of 28. So more hits than outs.
And 10 walks.
Yes. That's a fly ball. Ashby ranging and makes the catch. Actually, it can't be more hits than walks or hits than outs because they should have 18 outs.
18 outs and 15 hits.
And 15 hits. I was looking at the overall batting. It said 15 of 28.
And that's the reason because they've had some sack flies.
Yeah.
And
official at bats. Yeah.
Fielder choices and stuff like that.
So official at bats, they are over 500.
And Carson Queso will be done. He got a fun senior day appearance.
Okay, nice.
Urso out to the mound, and applause for Queso. I think it was 2 pitches and 1 out.
He's got an ERA of 0 for the game. And it looks like coming in is Jacob Fletcher, another senior from Ackworth, Georgia.
Fletcher has been a higher leverage arm for the Spartans this season, but I think just like Queso is getting some senior day honors here.
Yeah.
I think that might be his plan. He has 3 players ready to go, get the final outs of the game. And even though they will be back here for regional play, and Fletcher probably will play a big role.
Yes.
Because he's been so active from the bullpen. 33 innings is basically the Dalton Ross role of eating a lot of innings from the bullpen, 2 inning stints, a 187 ERA, and 4 saves.
A little more of an intense situation when it's NCAA time, so take your chances here with a 16-0 lead. Get some players in and out. Get them a chance to say they got up there one more time. $58 runs this weekend for Tampa.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Now, we got Ryan Steffiuk got to bat yesterday. I wonder if there's a fielder who wants to pitch to finish the game.
Could be.
Just throwing that out there. I'm betting no.
Probably not, but there was a Spartan who played 9 positions in one game.
That was a while ago. I don't think it was when I was here.
Against Florida Tech, Jacob Tillotson did so.
What year? 2014?
2014.
That might have been my first year. Don't know if it was home or away. More than likely, those are home games.
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher getting his warm-ups in. And the first batter he will face will be Shoemaker. Everybody hustles back to their positions. 1 out here in the 7th and most likely the last inning of the game. 10-run rule applies in the second game of the doubleheaders. First pitch, Fletcher gets a strike call. Ball outside.
Shoemaker took the mound from a position player position on Friday.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, He is also a pitcher.
Okay.
He's had multiple relief outings, and he is one of the more effective Triton relievers.
Maybe an Anthony Nunez kind of a pitcher.
Pretty much.
Throw across, and we're down to our final out. Now, what is... No,
Foul
ball. Okay, I thought so.
Would have had him, though.
Yeah. So back in the box with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Spartans will more than likely finish this game once again with more runs than hits. Eckerd's been pretty quiet in this game. No runs, 3 hits. Fletcher fires outside. 2-2. A little bit low. A long look. And the pitch. 3-2. Ground ball. And the toss across is in time by Saladino, down to the final out of this 7-inning nightcap.
So trying to look, I don't think there's movement from the dugout.
No, I guess Fletcher will finish it off.
So I think it was maybe more of a thing for Carson Queso.
Yeah.
Go out there
Yeah.
and get that chance. Still could see him in regional play.
Mm-hmm.
More likely to see Fletcher, I think, a little more often. But who knows when you're going to need a lefty to come out of the bullpen in a tight spot.
And as you mentioned in the broadcast yesterday, with 27 runs yesterday, the highest scoring output was 36 in NCAA play, right? Yep. A few years back. Pizzio to the plate. Take that back. It's
Basildo.
Basildo. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the 7th of a 16-0 Tampa lead. Ground ball, Saladino, the long throw, ball game. Spartans win it. They run their record to 22-2 and have secured no worse than a co-championship in the conference. They are 38-6 overall. Jake Stipp with the win, 8-0 on the year. And Eckerd falls to 5-19 on the year, 10-33 overall on the season. That is the home schedule regular season for the Tampa Spartans. Their final 2 weekends will be on the road as they will head to Barrie next Friday night, and after a 3-game series at Barrie, we'll head to St. Leo starting May 8th to end the regular season. NCAA tournament play is scheduled to start May 15th. Stay tuned for any games the Spartans may be hosting there. More than likely a bunch are coming up. So, Taylor, anything to add as we finish off the home schedule?
Yeah, I think just first, congratulations for the Spartans as they are once again conference champions. Although, as EJ told me, don't expect crazy celebrations because their eyes are on one prize, taking it all in Cary, North Carolina. But taking a look, it's their 5th in a row. Eckerd won the title in 2019, and there was only 2 times that Tampa hasn't won it since 2012. And not counting 2020, where it wasn't awarded because of COVID.
There was no season for the most part.
Exactly.
All right, so the Spartans, as we said, 22-2 overall in conference and 38-6 overall for the season. And so, for Taylor Stolworthy, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. We'll be back for